The success of the Saints has been a good news, bad news proposition for the 12 Mississippi Gulf Coast casinos in the state's first year of legalized sports betting. The good news: fans, many of whom don't normally visit casinos, have flocked to the sports books. That's been especially so at times like Sundays when business is usually at its slowest. They're spending money on food and drinks while gambling in other areas of the casino along with keeping an eye on the games. The casino hotels were sold out this weekend, and, if the Saints defeat the Los Angeles Rams in Sunday's NFC Championship game, there won't be a room to be found 2 weeks from on Super Bowl Sunday, and viewing space inside the sportsbooks will be at a premium. Folks who normally like to go to a bar to watch a game with friends have found out it's even more fun when you're watching with something on the line, said Jonathan Jones, Senior Vice President and General Manager of Harrah's Biloxi Casino. If you can't be at the game, this is the next best thing. They love it. The bad news: those fans have bet on the Saints in overwhelming numbers, 85 to 90% against the spread, according to Treasure Bay Sportsbook Director Dave Martino. There's so much action on the Saints that some of the casinos, including Treasure Bay, have a Mississippi line, a decision made by odds makers in Las Vegas, to bump up the spread, although by no than a point. Still, heavy action on the Saints has meant big losses for an operation designed to draw equal play on both sides of the line, with the casinos getting their cut via the vigorish. That helps explains why statewide sportsbooks profits went from $5.5 million in September when Saints were 2-2 against the spread to $1.2 million in October when the team was in the middle of an 8-game spread-beating run. They were a recovering machine, Jones said. We were really taking a beating, and it could have been worse. The Saints, 10-7 against the spread for the season, would have beaten the 8.5-point spread in last week's game against Philadelphia had Will Lutz made a 52-yard field goal with 2 minutes left. Instead, the Saints won, 20-14. I'm a hardcore Saints fan, and it killed me to give up my season tickets because I'm working on Sundays now, Martino said. And as much as I love Will Lutz, I love him more now because he missed. People on the coast live and die with the Saints, just like they do in Louisiana. We just don't need them to cover every week. Marino added that with the Rams' impressive divisional round victory against Dallas plus the Saints struggling against the Eagles resulting in a 3-point spread, fans probably will be voting more with their heads than their hearts for this game, but perhaps not that significantly. The same is true for the over/under line of 56.5. That's surprising considering that the first Saints-Rams game produced 80 points. I think the over/under is going to be pretty close to the line, Martino said. Those guys in Las Vegas generally know what they're doing. Fans love to bet the over though. They'll get plenty of other options Sunday, too. All of the books have several prop bets, such as who will score first. The Rams are a slight choice. How many touchdown passes Drew Brees will throw. The over/under is 2. How many yards passing he'll have. 295.5 is the line. And how many total yards Alvin Kamara will have. 107.5 is his number. And regardless of who wins, the Super Bowl will offer dozens of prop bets ranging from no touchdowns being scored, you can get 700 to 1 on that, to the time it takes Gladys Knight to sing the national anthem. No over/under on that one yet, but the potential bad news for the Mississippi casinos isn't over either. Back in the summer when the books first opened, several made future book bets on the Saints to win the Super Bowl at odds starting at 22-1, which fell to 18-1 and 15-1 when the season began. Those black and golden ticket holders can cash in big if the Saints win it all. We'd have some pretty heavy liability there, Jones said, although it wouldn't be as bad as the 500-1 odds against the Vegas Golden Knights winning the Stanley Cup in their inaugural season would have been if they hadn't lost in the finals. Nationwide, the casinos aren't complaining that much though. The sports books are now legal in 13 states with more to come, most likely eventually including Louisiana. But the overall take in Las Vegas in 2018 was still up 5% from the year before. In Mississippi, Tropical Storm Gordon striking the area in early September forced closings that normally would have taken several weeks to recoup. But Johnson said because of the heavy influx of college football fans, especially from Alabama, it was hardly felt at all. Saturdays, in fact, proved bigger for the sportsbooks than Sundays, the reverse of the situation in Las Vegas. It was just a whole new group of people, Martino said. The Alabama fans really showed up. They weren't too happy when they lost to Clemson, though. That game helped the casinos recoup some of their losses from earlier in the season. And the volume of visitors far offset the numbers generated by the sports books because of the outside spending. It's really been a lot of fun seeing this go so well, said Martino, whose late father, P.J. Martino, was a well-known bookie in Biloxi. And hopefully we'll see the Saints in the Super Bowl, because that will mean it's going to be wild around here.